Hi, Professor Hartman. This is Anahid, and I have been going over and over the solver equations that you sent me in your last workbook, and I'm just really confused. So I figured it'd be easier just to show you what I'm getting and explain it that way rather than me trying to format it into an email because I think it just gets way too confusing that way. First of all, let's make this box bigger. No. Okay, so what we have is we have the file that you sent me is over here, which clearly something is going on, which seems cool. And then this is my original file with all of my original stuff on it. So what I found confusing is, okay, so this is the original data that I gave you, as well as the example that I initially gave you, and you put this cost and amounts over here. So this is the initial example recipe that has the percent of recipe over here, which I doctored a bit to get to equal 100. And I then put the percentage of each fatty acid in that recipe by doing this times the data amount, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so in solver problem setup, I went into solver and I tried to figure out what was going on because I noticed that these 0.092 is not the same as 0, and these do need to be 0 to have the SOAP. Sorry, these do need to be 13. These numbers have to match, basically. These can't be greater than or equal to. They have to be equal to. So I went in to solver, and I just got really confused because these numbers are weird, especially if we're doing a minimization problem. There's no reason why it would be 380 for total cost. So I understood what's going on over here. I thought maybe it was just that it was greater than or equal to. And the other thing that confused me is then when I went over here, it seemed to be a different problem. So they had different amounts. And you could see the amount of oil in the actual mix, like say here for lauric is 42, and the target amount winds up being 2, and these have to be the same. Also, if it's greater than or equal to, I don't understand why this would be 2, that would be 42. This is clearly a much better total cost, though. So I decided I would try to reconstruct it to see if I could figure out what was happening. So I went over here, and initially I tried to just do this in my final data, which you can see I started setting everything up, and I put in the constraints, and I started working with solver, and I got error 1004, and I looked online, and apparently that's just my computer getting kind of overwhelmed. And error 1004 just means that basically something mysterious went wrong. And the first recommendation was to put it into a separate workbook. So I said, okay, I'll just do that then. That's fine. So I went in, this is workbook 1, and I copied all of my original stuff from the example file, and then I put in my little cost thing into this column. So I went through, and I looked at what you had done. So here's my solver. So my set objective is here, which is the sum product. That's the, here, I'll show you. That's the sum product function. These are all sums. There's nothing in here so far. This is just 100, and that had been 100, and then I ran a solver and it got weird, so I'll talk to you about that in a sec. Okay, so solver. So that's the objective, changing the variable cells. I set it to changing these variable cells, which is the amount of percentage. My constraints are the same as yours were, which is the total percentage has to equal the target percentage. And then instead of having greater than or equal to for fatty acid profile and target fatty acid profile, I just put in an equal sign. And I'm just going to go ahead and show you what happens when I hit solve, because it, oh, maybe it's this. Simplex LP. Wait, what did you have? Hold on. Did I just figure it out? Solver. No, you also had nonlinear. Okay. Never mind. All right, so solver, it's nonlinear. Did you make unconstraints non-negative? Is that what the question is? Uh-huh, maybe it's that. Okay. Maybe I just figured it out. Okay, click that box, solve. And now this little thingy pops up, and we'll see what happens. Because last time I got a total percentage of 0.9. And yeah, so now it's not saying it's finding a feasible solution. So I'm not sure what I did wrong here. I'm a little confused. These are some weird numbers. Did I select the wrong? Should this not be percent? Does it have to be in pounds? I mean, I feel like functionally it is the same thing as it being in pounds. I don't think these were initially input as percentages. Let me go look. Yeah, these are still whole numbers. That shouldn't impact anything. If the pounds are 100, then the total percentage will equal the number of pounds. Yeah, so I'm just really confused. For the soap to work, the fatty acid profile does have to be identical in both recipes. That's how you get various qualities in the soap. So yeah, if you could just clarify what I'm doing wrong, I'd be really appreciative. I definitely want to make this work, and I'm curious to know how I can fix this. Thank you very much. Hope to hear from you soon. Bye-bye.